The mining colony of Redmar Rift was never meant to matter. It was a quiet outpost on the edge of civilized space, built by 6 species who barely agreed on the shape of water. The colony's mines produced a rare crystal used in quantum processes, valuable enough for trade, but not valuable enough for protection. Which is why, on the night the Vorn Syndicate arrived, no one expected to survive. Their warships dropped out of FTL like jagged knives, blotting out the stars with obsidian hulls and thrumming weapon arrays. Within seconds, every defensive platform was ash, and every comm signal was jammed. Panic swept the colony, except for one man. Captain Elias Ward, human, retired Scout Corps officer, barely tolerated by most of the aliens who lived here, but impossible to ignore. When the first bombardment shook the ground, he didn't run. He grabbed his old scout rifle, keyed his HUD, and muttered, "Not tonight." The colony's council chamber was chaos when Ward arrived. 6 alien representatives shouted over one another, fur bristling, scales flaring, antennae trembling. "These are Vorn warships!" one councillor shrieked. "We can't fight them!" "They've already taken 3 worlds this cycle," another argued. "They want slaves, not negotiations." "They jammed our distress call. There will be no rescue." Ward walked to the center of the room, boots echoing like punctuation. There's still a way out. Every eye turned toward him, some hopeful, some annoyed, some simply desperate enough to listen. Councillor Makar hissed, "Human, you are a mechanic, a wanderer. What could you possibly—" Ward tapped the schematic projected above the holotable. "This mine, level 7. The vent shafts connect directly to the power conduits beneath the surface. If we overload the grid at the right moment, we can drop half the canyon on top of their landing forces." Silence fell. Councillor Lirin, feathers trembling, leaned forward. "That would kill their ground teams." Ward nodded. "And the debris cloud will blind their sensors. It'll give us a window to reboot comms and send a real distress signal." "And the overload?" Makar asked slowly. "It must be triggered manually." Ward shrugged. "Someone's got to flip the switch." "You'll die." Ward smiled faintly. "I've had worse Thursdays." Ten minutes later, Ward sprinted through the mining tunnels as shockwaves rippled through the rock. Dust rained like snowfall. Vorn gunships screamed overhead, firing at anything that moved. He slid down a metal ladder, leapt over a broken walkway, and landed hard in the vent chamber. Sparks showered the floor. The grid conduits pulsed with rising heat. His HUD flashed warnings. Core near critical. 130 seconds remaining. Perfect. He moved quickly, calibrating the overload sequence, rerouting power through bypass valves older than most of the colony's residents. His hands shook, not from fear, but from the adrenaline-steady focus of a man who had done impossible things before and survived them out of sheer spite. Behind him, something roared. Vorn troopers, towering exoskeletal horrors with blade arms and glowing green mandibles, crawled into the chamber. The lead trooper hissed, "Human, surrender!" Ward answered by shooting it in the face. The chamber erupted into violence. Ward ducked behind a conduit, firing precision shots. Troopers swarmed from every angle. He dodged between pipes and pistons, outmaneuvering warriors twice his size. His rifle ran dry, so he grabbed a wrench from his belt and used it as a close-quarters weapon. When the last Vorn fell, Ward staggered back to the control array, bleeding, battered, but alive. His HUD flashed again. Override, key required. Ward exhaled sharply. Of course it does. He tore off his dog tags, real metal, old and scratched, and jammed them into the manual port. The system accepted the override. He slammed the activation lever. A deep rumble shook the mine as the overload triggered. The canyon floor cracked open. Lava-hot plasma vented upward in a violent bloom, shattering rock pillars and collapsing the entire valley onto the Vorn landing teams. Ward's comm crackled weakly. "Elias!" It was Counselor Lyran. "The debris cloud. It worked. We're sending the distress call now." "Good." Ward leaned against the control panel as the chamber shook around him. "Tell whoever shows up to bring a broom. I made a mess." The grid exploded. Darkness swallowed him. Ward awoke to unfamiliar voices. He's alive. Humans are absurd. Who survives something like that? A blurry silhouette leaned over him. White armor, blue visor. A human marine. "Captain Elias Ward?" the soldier asked. Ward groaned. "Used to be. Now I'm just the guy with the world's worst headache." "You saved an entire colony," the marine said. "The fleet wanted me to pass along a message." Ward blinked. "A message?" The marine straightened. "Humanity doesn't forget its heroes." Behind him, dozens of rescued colonists gathered. Varan, Scree, Tilari, and more, faces full of gratitude. Lyran stepped forward, placing a feathered hand on Ward's chest. "You stood alone when the galaxy ignored us," she said. "You gave us hope." Ward managed a lopsided grin. "It's what we do." The human marine saluted him. "Welcome back to the fight, Captain. The galaxy needs more people like you." Ward sat up slowly, cracked his neck, and sighed. "Fine. But next time I'm picking the battlefield, and the drinks afterward." The marine chuckled. "Deal." Above them, the Terran fleet loomed like a protective storm, engines glowing. And across the stars, a whispered truth began to spread once more. When all else fails, humans stand up, and when humans stand, they change everything.